Um, so that is it for the Game Boy, but that's not it. Let's get into our next one that happened to direct. The next one, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let's talk about it before we get into the challenge question. It was the last trailer. That's all you got. I still think that we will get a personal direct video, more insight of the game for people that really want like a treehouse kind of thing to learn more about
Yeah,
it. We're
they'll
still
probably also announce their Switch
yeah,
collector's.
yeah, and all that. You are actually probably correct on that. But by the looks of it, we did see some interesting new things. When we saw new enemies, more flyers. We saw, does Ganon can Ganon talk now? I'm a little excited. I'm excited that maybe that was Ganon's voice that we heard in the trailer. That we finally saw that. We're seeing a little hint of Dark World in his own way. Like, you got a light world and a dark world. Kind of weird. Even though like it's probably at nighttime, it's just more deadly. That's probably what it is.
Yeah,
We did see Link like more in a cave. So like, does underground exist in some areas like that?
they have actual dungeons to make people shut up about Breath of the Wild's dungeons.
Technology. From the cars to gyro, like the gyro kind of stuff in the air and whatnot. So
Yeah,
technology is definitely in there. Speaking of you mentioned shrines. We don't know if shrines exist in this game. We don't know what the story on that was. We don't know the faith of Zelda that we saw at the end of what's happening with her. But overall, I'm excited. I think it looks good. I was going to get this game regardless because I was
yeah, you
ready
were.
to be surprised with what's going to happen next for it. I am a Zelda fan, not super hardcore, but I am a Zelda fan. I do have like, I have Zelda art. You've been to my place. You see my Zelda art.
Yeah.
You know,
Is it a day one grab for you?
no, no, it is not a day one for me, and it wasn't day one for Breath of the Wild either because I didn't get a Switch. And when I got a Switch, then I got Zelda, but I
Yeah.
didn't get both of those on launch. Um, but I will get that regardless because there's no way that price is going down. So I'll get it when I feel like I need to get it.
You gonna pay that $70?
Yeah, I am. Oh yeah, I am. But what's your thoughts on the trailer and the look?
The trailer was. This sounds really weird because I am going to get the new Zelda game, but the trailer didn't do anything for me. It didn't
Okay.
hype me up. It did. Nintendo does their selective, their mysterious trailer, their cuts. Leave more questions than it answers. That's fine. The trailer did nothing, next to nothing for me.
Okay.
I'm going to get it because I enjoy a good adventure, a good story, and the fact this is appears to be a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild appeals to me.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
Um.
very rare that
So,
they do a
in your
direct
curiosity, what do you
sequel.
think it was missing in the trailer that could have maybe give you like a little bit of like a I don't know a little like huh a little smile into it? Like, was there any
They
was
keep alluding to maybe the Master Sword being destroyed, um, in logos and various things like that. I would have liked to see uh, just a little bit of combat. Like, give me a fight. Like, I just the kind of fight that I'm going to be wandering around Breath of the Wild. It's like, oh, there's a moblin, wham, 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 block. Something
mm-hmm,
like that.
mm-hmm.
But honestly, aside from that, I can't think of anything that really would have gotten my hype juices flowing.
I think it would really excited me if we saw a one long scene of him going from the sky to the ground just to see how wide the game is.
Mm.
We never got that. We just see him jump, we see him fly around and stuff, but we never actually see him skydive, but we never see him a transition of him on a cliff, running off a cliff and just jumping. We're just kind of watching him make it down, and then maybe we could have got a wider scope of like this is how big the world is. That would have been pretty cool, in my opinion. That would have been pretty awesome. But I'm intrigued to see what Ganon's gonna do because Ganon never really. I miss Ganon getting the spotlight. The problem with me with Zelda sometimes is Ganon is not getting up spotlight. He keeps being more of the mystery, and then he gets revealed at the end. We're not getting. I want more of Ganon really being more involved of showing being more hands on of things going on. If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's just something they're not going to write Ganon to do.
Well, the voice is a hint.
Oh yeah,
Ganon's never got a voice before.
I mean, Zelda never got a voice before. Not like
you mean like in a main one because she got voices in other stuff, but you're talking about like in the main entry one, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, which is interesting. They're kind of slowly introducing this in, um, and Ganon. I think there might be cutscenes, but uh, as far as Ganon showing up and just being menacing every 4 or 5 hours in your adventure, I don't think they're ever going to do that.
Okay,
I
okay,
mean, the closest we saw to that was Ocarina of Time, where you're fighting the Phantom Ganon.
okay, okay,
But that's just my opinion.
okay. Um, well, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm very I am I'm more excited for it for now. But yeah, like I said before, when you asked me if it's day one, no, it's not a day one. Um, but I can't wait to see what people are gonna do with the physics of this game because this game is gonna have a lot of memes.
Of course,
A
of
lot.
course. They're going to be the usuals who know life it, and you're going to see like within a day of it being out, you're going to see all sorts of crazy shit on
And one
Twitter.
thing definitely is going to be interesting. This is going to be a full only Switch Zelda game. So
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting where how it really looks with the full power of the full power they're going to do with the Switch. And I want to see it when you play it, when you get it. Is there a bit of a difference you see between the Breath of the Wild and this one? So
yeah, I'm interested in that because remember they had to make Breath of the Wild digestible for the Wii U, which that's where I first played it and beat it
mm,
on the Wii U. So seeing on the Switch is a whole nother story. So who knows? I mean, we've seen Nintendo can do all sorts of amazing things with
mhm.
that console.
One of the big conflicts that people are saying now is what's our thoughts on Nintendo joins Sony and Microsoft with the newest Zelda game being 70 rupees. $70. Like this is the very first one. Now, before you go into that answer, they made a statement, and that statement is with Game Informer asked. In a statement with Game Informer, Nintendo explained the reasoning behind the higher price of most of the anticipated game that is 2023 so far. End quote. We determine the suggest retail price on any Nintendo product on a cease by cease basis. In
Case by case.
Oh,
Yeah,
case
case
by
by
sorry.
case.
Sorry, my apologies. I apologize. Case by case.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, makes sense. Let's take a step in the Wayback Machine. Go back to 1995. Um, Super Nintendo games were anywhere from $49.99 to $89.99. Chrono Trigger was $64.99. Super Mario RPG was $69.99. We had $70
Hang on.
games.
What? Well, Chrono Trigger was not Nintendo.
Chrono Trigger was not Nintendo, but it was a expensive game on Super Nintendo console.
Okay.
If you're talking about strictly Nintendo games, okay, Super Mario RPG,
Yes.
$69.99. Earthbound, well, that was a
Yes.
$60 to $70 or $80 game.
Mhm.
Final Fantasy, it was a Nintendo game, but the Final Fantasy games were $70.
Mhm. I think the big
Especially
conflict.
the RPGs were the most expensive.
So you're basically fine with it. It's not a big deal to you.
It's not that I'm saying I'm fine with it. I'd love to just pay 60 or 50 versus 70. I'm just saying for everybody who's getting up in arms and getting all butthurt about it, y'all lost perspective. Games have been $70 long before some of the people who were raising hell were even born.
Yeah, I think I have no issues with it right now, probably because I'm not like getting a day one or anything like that. So I'll probably get it maybe less, like $60. But with this, I think people have the counter because Nintendo Switch is not up to par of Microsoft and Sony to give this game $70. But I feel like well, the band-aid is going to have to be ripped off because when their next console comes out, I doubt they're going to stick with 60. They're going to go 70. So why not do it with one of the biggest games and see what happens? Because they know people are going to buy it. So might as well see how this works for them. Am I saying it's the right thing? No, I'm just saying as a business, why not raise a price on a game that everybody is going to get regardless?
It's shitty, but I'd do it.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it for Pikmin. Pikmin doesn't make enough to weigh that. So yeah, that's gonna say 60. So
Yeah, no, I'd do it. And like you were saying, you may not get it day one. Maybe you wait 2-3 years, catch it on sale for $40.
If that's one day.
40 $45
Yeah.
or sale at $50.
Yeah.
But yeah, but and I agree. I'm just saying the reactionaries, unfortunately, need to calm. They need to calm the tits
Mhm.
because games have been Nintendo game NES games have been $60 $70. This is nothing new. Now, to your other point about, hey, the Switch is not on par graphically with the Xbox or the PlayStation. No, it's not. Yet it's still selling. They're not pricing it based on graphics. They're pricing it based on what they can charge for it, as well as the amount of effort and labor that how labor intensive it is.
Yes.
And they can charge $70 for it. So
I
I'm not being an apologist. I'm just it's a fact.
It's part of the game, baby. This is what it is.
Part of good old fashioned capitalism.
And in the rule of thumb, people always say, "Vote with your wallet." But let me tell you,
if it's truly unacceptable, then people will not buy it.
Mm-hmm. But you better hope it outweighs the people. It better outweigh the other people that we're going to get it regardless. There are people that's going to go in blind, like, nope, get it, already got it, all right, special edition, got it.
Edition's already sold out everywhere. Like pre-orders are sold out for the collector's edition everywhere. If I were even trying to get it, I'd be mad if I couldn't get the collector's